Well, it's great to be here. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for watching wherever you might be today. We're talking about connected and social TV today, and the impact that that's going to have on viewing behaviours, and what it means for viewers, and also ultimately for advertisers. Obviously, it's a rapidly changing market. I encourage you, if you have any questions, hashtag connected TV. As we all know, TV, how we're watching it, where we're watching it, and what else we're doing while we're watching it is changing. Those changing are affecting both the viewers and the advertisers. The purpose of this session is to look at the changes and what they are and what they mean for those people that are funding TV content. TV has always been a social experience, but it's about to get even more so. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We've got a panel of great speakers. I'd just like to introduce them. On far right is Scott Lorson. Scott is the CEO at Fetch TV. He's also worked at PBL Media, where he was CEO of ACP Magazines and Ticketek. He was also MD of the Consumer and Multimedia Division at Optus. Next to him is Daniel Petre. Daniel is an investor in technology, philanthropist and futurist. He has been a leading player in Australia's tech industry for some 20 years. He has a massive CV, including working at Microsoft, where he worked closely with Bill Gates, and more recently he founded eCorp, a subsidiary of PBL, and developed it to become a leading tech-focused investment company. He's chairman of Netus and on several other boards, and he's been made an officer of the Order of Australia. Next to him, Next to him is Mark Frain. Mark is the National Sales Director at Multi-Channel Network, the main sales arm for Foxtel and Austar. Mark has been at MCN for 6 years and has worked both at agency and media consultancy. And finally, we have Jonathan Betts. Jonathan is Head of Digital Planning and Investment at WPP-owned agency Mediacom, which also happens to be B&T's Agency and Media Agency of the Year. Just thought I'd get a plug in there. Jonathan has worked at both digital and media agencies since 2000 and specialises in digital media search and social media. So please welcome the panel. Right, I want to kick off this discussion today with something that's confusing the hell out of me. We've been talking about IPTV for many years now. Now all of a sudden we're getting this connected TV word that's popping into our vernacular. And this is probably one for you, Scott. What's the difference between the two? Because I understand there is.
Yeah. So oops, that's all right. Yep. I guess the way I like to speak to it, there's a lot of technology and a lot of acronyms and a lot of things that go behind the scenes. But to the consumer, what's relevant is what content they get, where they get it, what they pay for it, et cetera. So there's the consumer experience. And then there's how they get it, which is the stuff happening behind the scenes. So this speaks to a little bit of the boring stuff, but there's some important distinctions worth making. There's traditionally been two types of delivery technology that people are familiar with. One's a broadcast delivery. So if you take your free-to-air television or your satellite-delivered Foxtel, et cetera, it's a one-to-many broadcast technology. You just put an aerial on your home or a satellite dish and a smart card on your roof, and you're able to receive the same signal as your neighbor and the person across the street. So that's a one-to-many broadcast service, and people associate it with HD and SD and high quality video. Then you've got the traditional web TV, which is your YouTubes or your iViews, iPlayers, Netflixes, Hulus, etc., where you're on the internet, you see a piece of content, you'd like to watch it, you hit play or stream. It travels through the internet as a request, finds a server located overseas or in Sydney or wherever, and starts to download or stream that content to you. Now the difference being that's a one-to-one delivery. So if your neighbors are playing on YouTube at the same time, there's a one-to-one stream. So this thing about IPTV is it's far more like broadcast technology than it is like the unicast YouTube world, but it gets more confused on the right. So IPTV is all about a broadcast technology over a broadband network that is a one-to-many delivered signal. Never touches the internet. Best analogy, think cable TV in the US, for example. You've got a cable into your home, it delivers your broadband, it delivers your TV. Yes, that pipe has a little compartmentalized, but one of them is associated with no latency, high quality, quality of service. In Australia, and I apologize, I'm getting a long answer, but if you watch TV on a tablet, experience is great on an iView. Where the IPTV comes in, where closed network becomes important, is if you want to watch that same content on the TV YouTube lean back, iView and HD. You want it to be unmetered. You want no latency. You want that quality of service. And it's only the one-to-many IPTV that can deliver that. So there's lots of devices. There's lots of different ways to deliver it. IPTV is generally the one that should be associated with the most like broadcast TV. Just happens to use a broadcast connection, a broadcast delivery instead of, a broadband connection instead of a satellite.
Right.
So
I think I get it. I think.
I've got to do better at this. I'm in the industry, and if that's my best effort, I'm in trouble. So.
Okay. Well, let's focus on the word connected TV, and let's use that as today's word, if you like. What can we expect from connected TV? How is it going to change our lives?
Well, I think
this is open to everybody, by the way.
I'll take a really short. It's just about choice. So now, all those things that you can do. I guess 5 years ago, you talked about interactive television, and it sounded like a great word, but you didn't know what it meant. But now you've got a lot of content, be it YouTube, be it iView, be it iPlayer, be it Netflix, Hulu, et cetera, that are quite relevant to the living room environment. And the connected TV is about bringing the internet, the content that's relevant and exciting to view on a big screen TV to the TV. And I think the challenge for the industry is you're not navigating with your thumb like you are on an iPhone. It is a different navigation. There's a different billing relationship. And the industry needs to find a way to make that choice convenient.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel?
Yeah, in a way, I think connected TV is the industry trying to cope with what the internet's doing and trying to stage people through a process to the end point. And really, where we end up is with a bunch of screens in our homes, some small, some large, and we can get whatever we want, wherever we want. Now, it's hard to pitch that to advertisers or to the industry. So the industry taking us through this sort of stage process of we know broadcast TV, we know cable TV, well, there's now called connected TV, and now you can get a whole bunch more. But in reality, to step back, it's as a consumer, I want whatever I want, wherever I want. So the interesting issue is, where does the content come from? And there are a variety of answers to that, and it will grow. How do I find what I want? And there's a whole lot of models about discovery, curation, etc. And then how's it monetized? So I think, the broader questions are those three, which then actually set you in the plane of where it will go. I think connected TV is kind of a branding thing to make people help them understand the internet and television today, but it's not an endpoint. It's merely step one of a 99-step process.
Yeah.